DA Anthony Gulluni, Springfield Police Commissioner John Barbieri, talking about an investigation that is happening at a home on Page Blvd in Springfield. Now let's listen.
John Barbieri, Max Bennett, and Eduardo Velasquez from the District Attorney's Office and my office. I'm here to give you a brief update on the circumstances at 1333 Page Boulevard. Quite frankly, the investigation is very early and is ongoing, and there's very little information I can release. But I wanted to respect the public's interest and the media's attendance here by giving you the details that I can share. Again, it's very early in the investigation. We expect this to extend in a very intense way over the next day or two at the very least, and more information will be released as time goes on. But I can confirm that 2 bodies were recovered at this address in the last 18 hours or so by the Springfield Police Department. That Springfield Police Department and members of my office are continuing this investigation. It is ongoing, as you can see. I can confirm only that Stuart Weldon, who was arrested on May 27th by the Springfield Police Department, does, we believe, live at this address. That is the extent of the connections as far as we're willing to say at this point. I do want to commend Commissioner John Barbieri and the Springfield Police Department for making the arrest of Mr. Weldon after a very dangerous pursuit and difficult process of making the arrest. At this point, additional facts are coming in moment to moment. The investigation is going on, and I again remind you that this is very early in the process, but I did want to confirm the fact that we have recovered 2 bodies from this address. We do believe that Mr. Weldon has been living up until the time of his arrest at this address on Page Boulevard, and we are continuing the investigation along with the Springfield Police Department and members of my office. And again, details will be released as they become available and we're able to share them with the public.
How many bodies were found outside the house?
At this point, I can confirm 2 bodies in and around the house. I'm sorry? In and around the house, I can confirm 2 bodies. Yep. Mid-evening last night, police arrived on scene and the investigation ramped up as it went into the early morning hours. There was some additional information that came to light that led to police's arrival at the address, and that was in the last 24 hours or so.
Has Mr. Weldon been cooperative? Did he lead you to the house?
I'm not going to speak to that. Mr. Weldon is in custody and is represented by counsel. I can't tell you that. He was arraigned on Monday.
The home is owned by Constance's right according to GIS mapping. The court records listed as his mother. Was she also living at the house, or were other people living there?
I don't want to speak to that right now. I'm just going to confirm that we believe that Mr. Weldon was a resident at the address.
And then also neighbors were telling us they saw a child going in and out of the house. Did you confirm anything about a child living there or leaving the home?
I'm not going to speak to that.
Do you have the ages of the victims?
We do not at this point, no.
Sex of the victim?
We do not at this point.
Do you know the status of the woman that was found in his car right now?
She is under care at hospital right now.
And then LaShawn Weldon, that case, on your website looks like it's still open. She was found dead in her apartment on Tyler Street in 2010. And this is LaShawn Weldon was a relative of the suspect. Is that case still open?
As far as I know, we haven't looked at that specifically, and those are the potential connections we'll make as time goes on. But again, this is very early in the investigation.
Given what's already been released about this alleged kidnapping, can you speak to just the danger that he posed and the fact that he's off the street now?
That would be speculative. We're aware that at the time the victim made some very serious allegations towards him, and there were some obvious injuries as reported by the police officers at the time of his arrest. He put forward a very violent struggle with police before his arrest, but beyond that, anything would be speculation about his danger to the community. But he is held on $1 million cash bail, and several preceding cases were the subject of bail revocation motions that were allowed by the court. So our expectation is for at least the foreseeable future he'll be held.
What about the son make it back to the house?
I'm not going to speak to those specifics, but it arrived, we believe, yesterday back at the house during the time when Mr. Weldon was held, so it was not driven back by him.
And this is the Nissan that he stopped in?
Yes.
What about the safety of other residents in the area? Some of them have said they saw some activity leading up to this, so they're concerned.
At this juncture, we don't believe there's any heightened risk or threat to members of the public in this immediate neighborhood or anywhere else. You know, that's not a concern of police right now, and I would suggest to the public that, again, there's no heightened risk.
Are you calling him a suspect in the murder?
No, not at this point.
Anyone else? Can you speak to the bodies at all, how they were found?
I cannot.
Have they been identified?
No.
There was a lot of interest just a little while ago in that shed that's off to the side there. Is it any comment on what's going on with that?
It's an ongoing investigation that will go for many days and weeks, but we expect the intensity will continue for the next couple days.
Do you know regarding other people that lived in the home? Have you been able to speak to any of those people?
Well, police have spoken with other potential residents or folks familiar with the home, but at this point, I'm only confirming that we believe Mr. Weldon was a resident of the home.
Hampden DA Anthony Gulluni holding a news conference at 1333 Page Boulevard in East Springfield, where Springfield police have been investigating since yesterday evening. Gulluni confirms that 2 bodies were recovered in and around the house, and 40-year-old Stuart Weldon was arrested on Sunday, and then this investigation at the house began Wednesday evening. We will continue to follow this story on the air, online, and on the 22 News mobile app.